Hey, wrestling fans, Brian Crazy F and True Wrestling, back at you with this week's TNA Impact Review for January 27th, 2011. We start off the show with a video package showing the current situation between Kurt and Jeff and Karen Jarrett. The video package ends with the beatdown Kurt received last week, and then Abyss walking out, then falling onto the entrance ramp, being impaled. I guess by Crimson, and we see Crimson telling Immortal that they are coming. Then we start off the show with Kurt Angle making his way down to the ring to cut a promo. Then we see Ric Flair come out, and Ric Flair basically, after some talking, this, that, and the other, basically reinstates Kurt Angle and says later on that him and Crimson are going to face the entire Immortal Army. So it seems like the deck's stacked against them for now, but as the night progresses, you'll find out that they're not alone. After a commercial break, we cut to a promo in Eric Bischoff's office, where he's pretty much chewing out Ric Flair for bringing back Kurt Angle. He says, we took so much time and it took so much effort to force Kurt Angle out, to trick him into, giving up his career, and now he's back in TNA. Like I said, Kurt Angle is now officially back, quote-unquote, on the roster. He is an active wrestler once again. Ric Flair says he's got it all set. He says, don't worry about it. And then we find out that Dixie Carter will address the fans a little bit later on. And Ken Anderson will face Matt Hardy. So now we head to our opening match, which was Sarita, Madison Rayne, and Tara. They went against Mickie James, Angelina Love, and Velvet Sky. It was a 3-on-3 single elimination match. It was pretty good. I do have to say this was probably one of the most athletic contests I've seen out of the Knockouts in a long time. I did have the opportunity to see the Knockouts live a few weeks back here in Connecticut, and they were quite impressive, I do have to say. It was Mickie James versus Madison Rayne. And Madison Rayne does have a lot of wrestling ability. I got to meet her twice. She's pretty freaking cool. So, guys, reconsider. If you haven't considered, being a fan of hers, reconsider it a little bit. So we end up seeing everybody but Sarita and Angelina Love get eliminated. But before this match, interesting piece of information I almost let out. When Velvet and Angelina were trying to, walk out the backstage area to the entrance ramp, Winter comes up and starts throwing a screaming, falling down fit that Angelina is, going with Velvet. She says that, she's hers now, this, that, and the other. She says, whoa, we're the tag team champions, this, that, and the other. But Velvet is my best friend, and I'm going with her. So I thought that was, pretty cool that, Angelina and Velvet are going to stay together. I was hoping that this Winter storyline wasn't going to kind of divide them out. Post-match, we see Winter come down. This is after Angelina Love picked up the win. And we see Winter come out and just, try to beat down Velvet, this, that, and the other. And Angelina Love kind of, pulls her away, but she doesn't attack her or anything. She's kind of taking, the middle ground, to the situation. And I really hope she picks Velvet over Winter. So then we go backstage. We see Kurt Angle on the telephone. He is speaking with, obviously someone unknown to anybody watching the show at this point. You'll find out a little bit later on in the review who he was speaking to. And he tells them that they need to accelerate the plan. He needs him there now. Then we see Frankie Kazarian come out for the next match. It's going to be a number 1 contenders match for the X Division Championship. It's a contenders tournament, and this was the first match in it. We saw the Amazing Red face Max Buck of Generation Me going against Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns. Pretty surprising, but we ended up seeing Max Buck pick up the win. His brother Jeremy did interfere and, tilt it in his favor, so to speak. We see next we see Karen Jarrett walk into Jeff's locker room. We see Jeff getting ready. Karen goes, "What are you doing?" He says he's getting ready for his match. Karen says she knows Kurt and she knows he's got something up his sleeve and he needs to be careful. Jeff Hardy's backstage, and I love it. I read, on a news site somewhere after I saw the show that it looked like he was sleeping on a park bench. I thought that was pretty funny. And then we see the beautiful people backstage, and Velvet Sky telling Angelina that Winter knocked her out. And she said, "You sure it was Winter and it wasn't Sarita? Because she's a crazy Mexican, this, that, and the other." And Angelina's words, not mine. Velvet is convinced it's Winter and storms off. She's having problems that Angelina's not taking her seriously about this. Speaking of that quote, now we go to Jeff Hardy, or the homeless guy that kind of looks like him. We see him come strolling out to the ring. Then we see Ken Anderson come out and just pretty much cut a promo saying, is everything you've done worth it? And pretty much rubs in his face that he's the TNA World Champion. And we kind of, end this promo with Jeff Hardy just leaning on the ropes, just looking really, really lost. Just like, he doesn't look like he has much focus right now. Then we see, I just have some notes up on my PC right now, guys. Excuse me for that. I'm just making sure I catch up before I continue. Then we see Crimson backstage speaking to his brother, the Amazing Red, brother. And, he looks just like the Amazing Red, except he must eat his vegetables. I don't know. And, he's saying, hey, he always got his back, but he got a very lucrative offer. And next week on February 3rd, everybody will find out who they are. Then we see the Pope backstage walking. I mean, I guess that's like the TNA thing. They catch everyone backstage walking. We see Pope come out and address the congregation. And then I don't know, is this edging towards a heel turn for the Pope? We see him, become kind of vicious with the crowd. He's saying that, this, that, and the other. Crowd starts saying Joe's going to kill you. He's saying the congregation has one last chance to confess, this, that, and the other. I don't really know where this angle's going. Are they trying to make Joe the face in it now and Pope the heel? I thought Pope was trying to be the face and Joe was kind of the tweener. I don't know exactly where they're going with this. I guess we'll just have to see what the creative team unfolds. We go backstage to Immortal's locker room, and Flair gives his crew, and for some reason Eric Young's also there, a pep talk, and he also kind of runs Eric Young out, and he says, Eric Young goes, well, I'm the world champion. He says, no, you found that belt in the garbage. So I thought that was pretty freaking hilarious. I'm just surprised Ken hasn't grabbed the real title back yet. It'll just be like kind of a mock champion versus champion match. I would be amused. I know some people don't find Eric Young and his 1,000 gimmicks that funny. I think the guy's fucking hilarious. Then we see a promo that Hulk Hogan's coming back on board. Oh, excuse me. We see the promo looking that Hulk Hogan is coming on board in TNA. And looking back at, just pretty much all the things that happened. We see, the footage of the injunction, Dixie handing it to Hulk, this, that, and the other. Supposedly Hulk's supposed to return the following week. Then we see Matt Hardy versus Ken Anderson with what looks like the WWE Divas Championship belt. I mean, he said last week that he could stick a crayon in his ass and squat over a piece of paper and draw a better picture. But to be honest, though, Jeff Hardy is a very talented artist. I got to hold this belt firsthand. I know I had some opinions on it off the bat, but once I got to hold this title in my hands and appreciate, the craftsmanship that went into it, it is quite a work of art. It really is. It's not just a big butterfly. I mean, it is Jeff Hardy. I mean, it's Jeff Hardy in this, tribal mask with this design. It's pretty neat. So we see, like I said, we see Matt Hardy go against Anderson. We see Ken Anderson pick up the win. Then we move into the main event scene. We're going to see Crimson and Kurt Angle go against Jeff Jarrett, Frankie Kazarian, Rob Terry, AJ Styles, Beer Money, and Gunner Muffin. And another thing I picked up from one of the news websites, Steve Carrier on Ringside, he always calls Murphy Muffin, so I thought that was pretty freaking hilarious. I always add little tidbits in my notes here. And, yet again, I do have to comment. I've seen this on a couple other people's comments so far. Another main event that starts, 5 to 10 minutes before the show ends. I mean, they're so predictable at this. If it wasn't for the large debut that happened, this would have been, just another Immortal Mob beatdown. Reminds me of the Nexus, stuff they did last summer in WWE. We see them, beat down Crimson until he's outside the ring. We see him beat down Jarrett. We see Jarrett beat down Kurt Angle. We see Matt Morgan even come out and try to make the save. Everybody's beat down. The lights go dark. The sirens start flashing. The music hits, and it's Papa Pump. Lights come on. He's dressed in a suit, looking sharp as always. Got the pipe, and he scares all of them out of the ring. And he looks right at Jeff Jarrett and says, "You son of a bitch, I'm coming for you." And I thought that was pretty freaking awesome. And AJ starts popping some shit, and he looks like he was going to come right out of the ring and just put his foot up AJ's ass. So I thought that was pretty awesome as well. He looks at Angle. Angle's just nodding his head like, "Yeah, baby, it's on now." Steiner points the pipe at him and basically gives him the nod like, "I got your back, bro." And the main event Mafia, I know it's only 2 of the 5 members right now, but with Crimson and Morgan, this could be a sick 4-man regime, and they really wouldn't have to bring on too much additional talent. I do agree that they should bring back Kevin Nash. He's one of my favorite stars of all time, and I think they should bring back Sting and Booker. But if it's not in the cards to bring back these gentlemen, or if they've just decided that, this is their time to finally take a rest, they've performed for us for years, and all we can do is respect them for that. So, guys, basically, big news. Scott Steiner back in TNA. Main event Mafia back in TNA. And right now, the way it looks like it's Crimson, Steiner, Angle, and possibly Morgan. So, guys, this has been an awesome week on TNA. I'm glad I was able to bring it to you and tell you a little bit about it. For F and True Wrestling, this has been Brian Crazy. My broadcast colleague, JC Styles, has also put up a review of this event, so please check it out. And we're hoping to be back with some WWE SmackDown results later on tonight. So, like I said, for F and True, Brian Crazy, and have yourselves a great night.